It's another live edition of Litter Media Live here on Litter Media Radio and our YouTube channel, as well as Facebook. Thank you for joining us. I'm Dan Ramey. He is the icon, Mike Smith, and off to our immediate left. Would it be stage left?
Stage left.
That's right. Okay. I'm trying to remember, who was it, Pete Puma that always talk about stage left? It was Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah,
what was his name?
I can't think of that character. I can see him, but I can't think of his name.
He would always talk like this.
Yeah.
Stage right, stage left is Aaron Glandon, a.k.a. Mr. Hand 2. Oh, and my bottle of water is there.
Mr. Relax.
Let me take that off the stage. There we go.
Well, if you're going to put your glass on, I'll just...
Yeah. Well, mine isn't quite as... beautiful as yours. It's just a
and I can see
plain old
through
water.
yours. It almost disappears in the backdrop there.
What are you saying, Mike Smith? Hi, good to have you here. Thank you for joining us. On this program, we take a look at daily activities, things that are going on, give you a heads up on some things that are happening in not just here in Ross County, but Pike County and Fairfield County, Pickaway County, Fayette County, and beyond. We've done that as well. So, in fact, our lead story today is from Pike County. Details are just around the corner. But first, let's take a look at that there weather. We got surprised by a little more snow this morning.
Yeah, snow possibly continue on and off throughout the day and again tonight. Temperatures today around 21, 22 for a high, 13 the low tonight. Mostly cloudy for Thursday with, again, some early morning snow flurries. I don't think they're talking about anything but less than maybe an inch total through all of this. Although we've just gotten some word from Pike County and Ross County as we're doing this program live on Wednesday morning. They're both on a level 1 snow emergency as of 10:45 this morning. And Vinton County's on a level 2. Mm-hmm. So apparently, even if we're not getting a whole lot, what's out there is very slick. But we're looking for a warming trend, sunshine and 30 on Friday, maybe in the mid-30s for the weekend.
Yeah, we had almost an inch of snow when I was leaving Pike County to come in. And I was watching Channel 4 weather last night, and Dave Mazza was saying that most of this that we're getting was making its way, he said, probably no further north than Pike County, but it got into Ross County as well. So keep that in mind as you're out and about today. Proceed, but with caution. All right, coming up in a moment, what's making news and a look at sports as well as this date in history, all just ahead. But first, Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. Since 1977, they've been taking care of the comfort in your homes. You're going to find out more about what they do in their territory. They have 8 different offices across Southern Ohio. Click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com. It takes you right to their website, accuratehvac.com.
Now that's one fast mower. Take command of your lawn with Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Haynes Total Health Care Center, they are in the top 1% of people that go to the chiropractor nationwide. That's pretty incredible. Mm-hmm. 50,000 patients they see, and ranging from young kids to old kids, as they say in their commercial copy, from pediatric to geriatric. If you fit in between there, you are a prime candidate to be looked at by Haynes Total Health Care Center. Click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com. Takes you to hayneshealth.com. littermedia.com for more details. Looking at news, you'll find it on our website, littermedia.com. All of our social media contact, everything. We do a lot of stuff that's not on our website. That's where the goodies come in, as our pastor would say. It's got the goodies, and the goodies are found up in the right-hand corner there.
That's kind of like the things that don't make our website, or what we used to refer to in the old radio days as like a public service type thing. We save the bigger stories for the website.
Or Litter Media Extras.
Yeah.
I like that too.
Well, there's music in the air tomorrow night at Waverly High School Auditorium. It's called the High School Band Winter Concert. High school concert band, high school jazz band, and soloists. That gets underway at 7 o'clock Thursday night, again at Waverly High School. That's on campus, not the downtown gym.
My buddy Zach Ross does a great job with the music there. And not only he, but he's got several other folks who have been involved with the Waverly Music Program over the years that volunteer and help out. So you will enjoy this concert. Make sure you get there.
Ross County Planning Commission and the Board of County Commissioners have announced that they are providing some additional open house events on the Ross County Comprehensive Plan, and this is for the month of February. These additional dates will be in Frankfort on February 24th, Kingston February 26th, and Bainbridge on February 27th. Some additional event dates will be added in March. We'll let you know when we get to those particular events.
Developmental Disabilities Month is next month in March, and the Pioneer Center is gearing up for a lot of activities celebrated every March to highlight the contributions of people with disabilities and to advocate for their inclusion in our community. And I think we do a fantastic job of that here in Ross County. That's one thing in talking with one of the previous administrators said, what is it about the connection with, you've done a fantastic job with getting your people out in the public. And it's Rick Mariotis who I was discussing this with, and he says, it's just the people of Ross County have embraced us. He said even nationwide, when he would go to conventions and things for developmental disabilities, they were like, how do you do this? How do you get it? And he says, our people. They just love our people. And so hats off to them. We honor them each and every month of March, and there is several activities going on. It's going to start at the Pump House Center for the Arts a week from Saturday. And not only that, but they'll also have the opportunity, or this is Thursday, a week from Thursday. They'll also have their basketball game, which they've been having at Chillicothe High School in recent years. It's always a blast. Celebrities against the kids, and the Pioneer Center, I'm trying to, the Trailblazers. They used to be the Tigers, but they changed their name to the Trailblazers. So if you want to see them in action, that'll be taking place in the month of March.
Saturday, March the 1st, is Ross County Community celebrating Ohio's founding with the Statehood Day event. In honor of Ohio's statehood, several of Chillicothe's finest museums and historic sites will open their doors free of charge for a day of exploration, learning, and interactive experiences.
And next Tuesday, we will have Andrew Hall in to talk about the events going on that day. Chillicothe Kiwanis Club and the Ross County Ministerial Association will be hosting their annual Ohio Statehood Day prayer breakfast. That is Saturday, March 1st at 8:30 a.m. The event will be hosted by the First Presbyterian Church of Chillicothe at 13 Meade Drive. This year's Statehood Day Achievement Award will be presented to retired Lieutenant Colonel Robert Leach. Good friend of the radio program over the years, and we've had him on here several times. Saw him at the Ross County Christian Academy game the other night. So congratulations to Bob. He's been fantastic in promoting and keeping military history alive here for the involvement of all those from Ross County.
Yep. Some tech classes coming up at the Garnett A. Wilson Public Library in Pike County. Reservations are required. You can contact Jessica at 947-4921 to reserve a spot. Now, for those who do not have laptops, they do have a few that you can borrow for the class, but let them know during the sign-up for these devices are limited. And there's a wide range of tech-type issues or events that they're going to be talking about Tuesday, March 11th, and Thursday, March the 13th.
And some of this goes right through April, it looks like, in May.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible. The Ohio Means Job Pickaway County is teaming up with Action for Children on Tuesday, March 11th for a resource fair. At the event, you'll learn about providing licensed in-home health care, child care, that is, and more. You can join them from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Pickaway County Job and Family Services on Pickaway Street in Circleville. Get connected with valuable child care and family resources, learn how to become an in-home child care provider, and get info on Action for Children programs. And that's a look at news.
Yes, sir.
For today. Again, the road's a little slick out there in some areas, so do be cautious as you're out and about. Sports on the way next. But first, let's tell you about Scioto Valley Dumpsters, 740-253-8389. When you click on this ad, when you see it, it takes you to their Facebook page where you can learn more about how to get a dumpster for your personal use or for your company use. Details at 740-253-8389.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier. Transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our Kingston National Bank mobility app today.
Whenever I first applied for the Archways opportunity, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
I'm a busy woman, and I'm not ready to slow down.
Tiffany's hip pain was interfering with her career and active lifestyle until she came to the Adena Orthopedic and Spine Institute.
Dr. Meshbach told me about same-day surgery. I said, I want it now, and I wanted it yesterday.
After a successful procedure, Tiffany was home the very same day and on her way back to enjoying the community she calls home. At Adena, we do what we love, so you can too.
Before we get to sports, tomorrow we will have the announcement of our Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. If you've not made a nomination, please do so. Just send us an email with your pet. Tell us about your pet. Include a photo, too. Send that to littermedia@gmail.com. Time for sports.
High school tournament basketball in full swing in our Litter Media radio game last night. North Adams dropped Adena from the girls' basketball tournaments with a 46-41 decision at Waverly's downtown gym. Adena actually trailed much of the ball game, but took the lead 34-31 at the end of the third quarter on a mid-court bank shot from Marley Halcom, and that's Marley right behind the pistol girl, number 10. But they couldn't hang on, 36-33, 38-37, their last leads, and then foul line took care of things for the Lady Devils down the stretch. They now take on Fairland in the district final at 2:30, Waverly downtown gym. The noon game is Portsmouth. I think they're going to go all the way this year.
I'm with you. They've got the.
I asked Amy Hughes the other day. I said, of course, they were in the state tournament last year. I said, how's this team compared to last year? And she says, I think we're a little bit better.
Yeah.
But she said, I think Ottawa Glandorf's a little bit better, and that's who knocked them out in the finals last year. So go Portsmouth and whoever else is still in come Saturday.
Well, the key to them is Mike Hughes. I mean, Amy does all the work on it, but Mike's the mastermind behind all this. And I saw him at the game the other night, and it was good to see him.
And you have some other scores from last night.
Yes. They call it Heartbreak Trail for a reason, because you hate it when you see your local kids fall by the wayside. Again, North Adams over Adena, Fairland beat Ironton. Belpre and White Oak advanced with wins at the Division 6 district semifinals. The Division 7, Green picked up a win over Sims Valley, South Gallia, Fisher Catholic, and Shekinah Christian all advanced. And on the boys' side, Chillicothe, man, they took off. They jumped out to an early lead and did not look back. 66-29 the final And Caden Cox had a monster game last night for the Cavaliers. They'll take on Miami Trace this Friday evening at Miami Trace. So a third time. They always say it's tough to beat a team 3 times, and both of their games were close the first 2 times. Marietta beat Athens handily, and Columbus South ends the season for Hamilton Township.
Had a rough finish this season, Hamilton.
That they did. Yeah. And Fedhawk picks up a win in the Division 6 district opening round.
And later tonight, a Litter Media Radio doubleheader from Southeastern High School. This is the girls' Division 4 district semifinals. We have the undefeated Lady Falcons of Fairfield Union taking on Hillsboro. That's a 6:15 tip, so we'll be on the air at 6 o'clock, yours truly and BJ Daly. And then the nightcap has the Battle of the Lady Tigers, Circleville, against McLean, and that is a scheduled 8 p.m. tip-off, depending on whether we're able to get a post-game interviews from the first one. There's a possibility we might break away for a few minutes before starting the broadcast for Game 2. And you're in Circleville tomorrow night.
Yes, and from what I'm told, I'll be sitting at the scorer's table.
Down on the floor.
Be in the action.
Yeah.
Watch out for that.
Keep watching.
I'm kind of concerned because I have a feeling it'll put me close to the Circleville bench. You know, I'm a Tays Valley kid, so and that could be problematic. Yeah. But then you've got Cole Nungester, who was a Tays Valley kid. He's playing for Circleville again. But I think he was a Circleville kid, became a Tays Valley kid, and back to a Circleville kid again.
Yeah.
So
you can hold each other's hands and sing the fight song from Tays Valley. Might get thrown out of the gym if you try that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, on the way, a look at this date in history. We hearken back to the year
1473.
That was a few years before Mike was born. Details next.
Our coverage is also brought to you in part by Litter Quality Propane. Online propane monitoring and reporting. Know your home's consumption and gas remaining in the tank. Find out more at litterpropane.com.
Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary.
Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old.
Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
Before we get into this date in history, we wrapped up the show yesterday acknowledging the passing of a couple of individuals who were public figures here locally. Eleanor Karshner, there was arrangements for her, but nothing had been announced on Roger Crago, the former superintendent at Westfall and Chillicothe schools. We have information now that has been released to us from Haller Funeral Home. There will be viewing this Friday from 4 until 7 p.m., and then the funeral itself will be held Saturday at Walnut Street United Methodist Church at 11 o'clock Saturday. That's where he and his wife Sue attended, and then they will have burial afterwards that will take place as well. So if you want to make a donation in honor of Roger Crago, the Adena Health Foundation Cancer Fund is where that will go at 9 South Paint Street here in Chillicothe. All right, this date in history.
Happy birthday, Copernicus. 1473, Nicholas Copernicus is born in Turin, a city in north-central Poland on the Vistula River. I believe that's how you pronounce it. The father of modern astronomy, he was the first modern European scientist to propose that Earth and other planets revolved around the sun. Heretic! Heretic! The Earth is not flat. Copernicus told us this.
I wish we had a picture to show of Caden Cox, who plays for the Cavaliers. They look similar.
Isn't that right?
With the hairdo there. So
ask Caden if he thinks the Earth is flat.
Have to start calling Caden Copernicus
Caden
Cox.
Copernicus,
Can you imagine what it was like? Because all you could see that it was flat.
Yeah. What do you mean the Earth's round?
And wasn't Copernicus the one who also said that these planets revolve around the sun, and including us going around the sun? How do you prove that in 1400?
Yeah.
Whatever date it was.
And there are people, of course, a lot of what people thought they understood about, they were taking it out of the Bible. The Bible referring to the four corners. Well, there you go. It's got to be flat. Well, no, that's not what the reference obviously was about. But yeah, it's amazing how people can get their thoughts, and over time we get out there in space and see, wait a minute, that's not flat. Of course, it was a NASA conspiracy that wasn't really actual video. Do you remember the guy that went up to? Oh, heck, what's the fellow that was with Neil Armstrong on the moon? Buzz Aldrin.
Yes.
Somebody came up to Buzz Aldrin.
And he punched him.
And he was saying, you are fake, and Buzz drilled him.
Yeah.
He drilled him, so.
Buzz was an interesting guy. Mm-hmm. He's no longer with us, correct?
Right, he passed.
I thought he would pass.
He and Neil both are gone.
But he was in his late 80s when I had him on the radio. Mm-hmm. And it was so cool to talk to a guy who had been on the face of the lunar surface of the moon.
How about that?
Pretty incredible. He wasn't the first one. Neil, of course, was the guy who got to just say that. But and I kind of wondered if that was something kind of stuck in his craw a little bit. I was the second guy to do it.
Yeah.
You know,
that's still not a bad honor. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you believe Ricky Bobby, you're the first loser. You know,
that's true. Never thought of that. Yeah.
So that's a movie reference. You weren't all over that. What's
Ricky Bobby?
You haven't seen it, I imagine.
I have not.
You've not seen Talladega Nights?
No.
Did you watch the...
You've probably seen Boogie Nights, though.
No.
Okay.
Did you watch the Saturday night 50th anniversary
I did.
thing? What did you think of it?
I thought it was right on par with everything that they have done over the years. And there were some bits that didn't work for me, but there were some that did. When Eddie Murphy was on Black Jeopardy as Tracy Morgan,
who was also there. Yeah.
He did Tracy Morgan fantastically. Yeah. And then he was in the Scared Straight bit, which kind of went a little too far for me. But how he had one half of his hair was in cornrows and the other was just everywhere. Yeah. And his name was All the Way Ray. And he says, because I don't do things halfway.
Yeah.
And then they paused and you just take a look at his hair and it's like, okay, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. They had a thing on Saturday night.
About all the music.
Right.
Yeah.
And some of the things that they talked about there I thought was interesting because they were talking about skits that have now become iconic that almost didn't get on the air. And one of them was Eddie Murphy as James Brown's Celebrity Hot Tub.
Because he didn't want to do it.
Yeah. And to think everything that it was spot on as far as his imitation.
I wasn't real sure what to expect for Sunday night because the the show that they had on Saturday night was kind of like a retrospect and went back to, but then Sunday night, after the red carpet thing was done, they went into what was a longer episode of Saturday Night Live. I liked how they did it. It was cool seeing the people in the crowd, in the audience. I mean, you saw, like Kevin Costner, he had no lines,
right,
but he was a part of a bit that was in there. He looked very uncomfortable with that, too. That's
exactly what I thought, yeah.
Jerry Seinfeld was sitting behind Julie Louis-Dreyfus, who, of course, was Elaine on Seinfeld all those years. She was on Saturday Night Live, and she had a bit with a service dog that was with her.
Yeah.
And Jerry was like sitting, he and his, I think it was his wife, were sitting right behind her, but he wasn't featured in any fashion in any way there. But Steve Martin opening the show was fantastic. And then when Martin Short came in, and he asked him about his green card, and
because he's from Canada,
and because he's from Canada, and here came the ICE officials and moved him out. But he closed the show, did a great job there.
Did you notice that Chevy Chase never had a close-up other than an old video, except at the very end, he was the gaggle of people that get together to say goodbye. He was down in front. He was mentioned in the top, Bill Murray's naming of the top news anchors on the show. He was fourth, but you noticed that they named him not Chevy Chase. They gave his actual name.
Yeah.
I had done a little reading on that.
Was it Cornelius something?
A couple of years ago. Chevy was not very well liked on that show by the cast. They did not get along. He was only on there the first year, and then he left because he had a lot of movies. But, he was not. And you could, knowing that, you could see the vibe that it wasn't. We're not even going to call him Chevy Chase.
Bill Murray on that segment was fantastic. I like
kept
how
teasing Colin.
And I had forgotten all about Colin. What was the guy? What was his name? Colin wasn't Colin Firth, was it?
Jost.
Jost.
Well, he's the one that was the anchor that they didn't name.
Right. He's the current anchor, but the Colin that was, what was his name? I can't remember. But he was like, I don't know, 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago.
I can't think of it.
Colin something. And so anyway, that was the first that he slid it across, and it was that guy as opposed to Colin, who's married to Sarah Johansson.
Right.
Or Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett.
Sarah Johansson swims for Chillicothe.
The Colin that won it, the number one, that's Bill Murray's son.
Yeah.
who was never even on the show, I don't think.
Yeah.
Bill Murray was funny.
I enjoyed the Bill Murray segment immensely. But Eddie Murphy, I thought, stole the show. Yeah. Will Ferrell as Robert Goulet, that was an uncomfortable bit, but it was uncomfortable when they did it originally. And when they did it originally, all I could think of was the star that he was playing reminded me so much of Cabot Ray from Channel 4.
Right.
And then when he came into the Scared Straight bit, I lost it. I thought, here comes Big Red.
Yeah, Will Ferrell.
He was talking about, and I saw this on another episode of something, where the bit about the cowbell, that it didn't make it in. It didn't go well during dress rehearsal, and they said, we need to get this out. And so he had written this originally for another guest who was there, but then he reintroduced it when Christopher Walken came on, and he said, and then I changed my shirt. I got something a little more form-fitting, and and he said the whole idea originated because I liked the song "Don't Fear the Reaper," and I heard that cowbell, and I thought, what about that guy? The guy who plays the cowbell, he's got to have a story somewhere. And then it all just exploded and became one of the absolute greatest bits ever on Saturday Night Live.
He said he went to see a Broadway play that Christopher Walken was in.
Yeah.
He went backstage after the show, and Walken says, you've ruined my career. And he said, well, what? And he said, everywhere I go, people want to hear more cowbell.
More cowbell.
Instead of talking about my Broadway work or my movies, it's more cowbell, please.
Yeah. That's it for the program here today. Gosh, we did 5 minutes on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Yes.
I enjoyed it. Missy didn't care to watch it. And so
she was so young when it was on.
Well, she was, we had spent.
She was in grade school when it first came on, right, Dan?
We had canceled our church services, so we were together all day Sunday. And
don't you have a church to go to?
Then there was rain delay for the Daytona 500, so they didn't get it started until, 6 o'clock, as opposed to 1:30 where it was supposed to. So we had watched all of that rain delay stuff, and I'm like, I sat there and did work while she was watching all that. And so I had recorded the Saturday Night Live stuff and watched it after the Daytona 500 was done. So I got to bed at 3:30 or 4 o'clock Monday morning. But it was a good show. I enjoyed it.
All game tonight.
Didn't ask. Did you see anything for Saturday Night Live? Did you care?
No, not really.
Okay.
I did. I watched the movie that came out recently.
I've not seen the movie.
Saturday night. And it's the hour and a half, almost in real time before the first episode. That's a really good movie. Really interesting.
I'm told that it was very authentic as well.
That's what I heard.
How it all went. So, and that took you back to 1976. Of course, they showed the first episode Saturday night with George Carlin and the whole deal. Got to watch that again.
And the guy playing Chevy Chase in that movie looks exactly like Chevy Chase.
Is that right? Very cool. And I'd forgotten about the bit with John Belushi where he was in the graveyard and visiting the not ready for time.
I remember
the
seeing
graves
it when
of all
it ran.
those.
Yes, the first time.
And who'd have thought that he would die before all of them?
Because he says in the skit, I thought I'd be the first one to go. And he was.
And he was the first to go. And Chris Farley.
Funny guy. Funny guy. And
one more thing before we wrap up. Adam Sandler with his song.
That was tear-jerking,
That was really well done. Really well done. So, all right. That's it for the program. Thank you so much for watching. We're back at it again with high school basketball tonight. Doubleheader for you, 6 o'clock, and then again later just before 8 p.m. That will be followed by another edition of this show tomorrow at 11 o'clock. So for Mr. Hand 2, Aaron Clandon, who doesn't watch anything, and Mike Smith, I'm Dan Ramey. We'll talk to you tomorrow.